morning, Dakota Ridge. I'm Ryder Ashby.
And I'm Gage Witherby, and here is your Ridge Review. Some of you might not be aware of the different student roles so many of our Dakota Ridge groups play in the school's success. One of these groups is student government. Anthony Sanchez met up with a few of these members to hear what the involvement means to them.
Student government to me is a place where you can grow as a leader within a community of other students that also want to take action. I think student government is a great way to help the school, help the community, and also just become a better person.
My favorite part of being in student government is getting able to plan super awesome things for the student body and just being able to have fun after the crazy year we had. It's been nice to be able to get back to like homecoming and Mr. Dakota and all the fun stuff that we get to do at Dakota.
Being in student government is an amazing opportunity to help out the school, and you get to meet a lot of great people and have amazing experiences setting up great things for everyone else.
I think student government plays a big role in life here at our school in terms of pep assemblies, helping organize prom, helping organize homecoming. They do so much. They help prepare teacher conferences. You know, they do a lot of community service stuff. So I think that those kids involved in student government at our school really impact the school in so many ways.
Homecoming, prom, day without hate. None of that would happen without those student government members. Another group you might not know that much about is our theater department. The latest show is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. This one comes with a few extra concerns and challenges. I recently sat down with the lead actor, Evan Donaldson.
Would you like to tell me a little about the show?
Yeah, absolutely. The play is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is based off the book by Mark Haddon. And it's all about a 15-year-old named Christopher Boone, who is on the autism spectrum. And one day he finds his neighbor's dog dead in her front yard. And so he goes on this journey to figure out who killed the dog. And at the same time, he starts unveiling secrets about his family, and he learns more about himself along the way.
What about your role?
So I play Christopher, who is 15, and he is on the autism spectrum. But he has this brilliant and beautiful mind. He memorizes practically every event that's going on. He also is fantastic with math. I have to memorize the prime numbers and everything. Like, that's his calming mechanism. And he's a very scientific and very factual person.
Great. I understand that there are people who were concerned about not casting an autistic actor to portray the lead Christopher. Can you explain about how that is being addressed?
Oh, absolutely. We very much so take those concerns very seriously. But first of all, our director, Mr. James Young, has been working with people on the spectrum for, I think he said 20 years, which is fantastic because you have somebody who's an insider on that. But also, by the time that this will have aired, we will have Miss Bell and one of our lovely people involved in the department, Miss Sky Sashini's mom, coming in, who is also an autism consultant. And we'll be working with them closely during rehearsals too.
What did you do to prepare for the role and handle those criticisms?
You know, preparing for the role was really difficult in the way that it's completely expanded kind of my understanding of autism and of the spectrum. The first thing I did is I started looking up just, traits and stuff like that and kind of how people would maybe carry themselves. But I also looked into my real-world experiences with working with people with autism, as well as there are a few shows out there that some should stay away from, but there are some that have actually worked with autism consultants on the set and stuff like that. So I've really gotten a good feel in that way, and also just working with Mr. Young and trying things out and trying to figure it out. I've also read the DMS-4, I think is what it's called, which is basically at the time that the show takes place. It's like the go-to handbook for, all these different mental disabilities that somebody would have, and it's what psychiatrists would use. So just being able to look into that and kind of see the common traits and understand where the brain comes from. Of Christopher, I've also read the book, so.
That always helps.
It does.
Why do you feel people should see the show?
I think everybody should see the show because it's a beautiful show. And it's one that has so much heart. And I think it's beyond anything that we've ever done before. Even with the set, usually we as a society, we put people on the spectrum in this box. And the set itself is essentially a box with these platforms. But it's so funny because Christopher invites these people into this realm with him, this little box. And it's very indicative of the show that for the first time in some people's lives, they're going to see things from a person with autism's perspective instead of somebody's perspective of that person with autism. And I think that that's just such a beautiful thing, and it's such a beautiful story.
So, like another point of view of autism?
Oh, absolutely. Because usually what we normally see is, somebody who doesn't have autism writes something, or doesn't really have any experience, writes something, and then it's passed off and it's okay. But with this show, it's completely different. There's so many steps that have been taken from when the show is being written up to now that are just so inclusive, and it's just crazy to even think about just how far everything has come.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The play runs November 11th through 13th. Don't miss it. Yet another group who plays a part in the life at Dakota Ridge. Our athletes, Nick and Amari, with sports.
Let's start the show off with our weekly scores. Boys varsity took a defeat against Valor 10-0, and girls volleyball had a close victory against Grand Junction Central 2-0. To finish off our weekly scores, Dakota Ridge varsity football took a dub against Golden High School 45-38.
Now it's time for the foe of the week. And the best foe of the week is... Wow, that's a missing foe if I didn't see one. If you want to see your foes feature on the show, DM us on Instagram at DRidgeNews.
Last day, Dante Capolongo was our MVP of Week 2, but now it's time to crown a new MVP, voted by you the fans. This MVP came in second place last week, but now with the help of you guys, he's our MVP. Varsity football player, Noah Triplett. Congrats, Noah, for being our MVP, and thank you for leaving a legacy at the school. We will be sure to give you a medal.
To keep up to date with your fellow Eagles, some sports events are as follow. Dakota Ridge varsity football will start off their playoff run to the state championship this coming week.
I hope to see you guys all out there supporting our fellow Eagles. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at DRidgeNews. With that being said, I hope to see you out there, Eagles.
That's it, Eagles. For more D-Ridge news, visit the Core News website on the Dakota Ridge homepage. And remember, stay classy, Dakota Ridge.